In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you breakfast ideas straight from the pantry. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Katie, creator of ROWESRISING.com. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of my family. In my video today, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my pantry meals, mostly breakfasts in this video. Yep, we're going to do some waffles, some sourdough crepes. We're also going to make my homemade granola, and I'm going to take you along and hope that you are inspired by some of these recipes and that you can make some delicious food for you and your family. Today, I am sharing with you guys my plan for the 3 Rivers Pantry Challenge. Part of this challenge, I am going to be using up a lot of my pantry stores. I have been working really hard the last year on stocking up my pantry for emergency food storage, as well as any reason that you might need a pantry. And I've been preaching this all year long. It's not the zombie apocalypse I'm talking about. It's medical emergencies. It's sickness, illness, anything that might come up in your life where you cannot get out of your house for a period of time, or things come up, or there's some kind of financial burden and you can't afford to buy food. Well, you have the security knowing that you have set aside food for that event or for that hardship, that time in your life. That is why I talk about stocking the pantry and making sure that you have an emergency food supply. Down in this video's description, I'm gonna leave a list of videos for you all on how you can start prepping your emergency food stores so that you don't get caught with your pants down and no food. So I do both short-term and long-term food storage. You're gonna see a lot of that on my channel. So we're gonna go through how to store your food, how to cycle through your food stores, FOMO, F-O-M-O, hold on, FIFO, F-I-F-O, and a variety of other pantry food management topics. I have a family of 7, and food management is basically a full-time job. You know, if you're cooking from scratch at your home, then you know that food management is a full-time job. So I'm going to be sharing how I manage food around my home. And this time of year, it's with this pantry challenge. It's moving through some of my food stores. It's cycling through some of the old stuff in the freezer that needs to be used up. It is saving money at the grocery store. I'm giving myself a weekly $100 to $150 budget, and that is for fresh eggs, fresh fruit, and milk, you know, perishable items. I also have some milk in my freezer and some dry powder milk, so I'm going to try to cycle through some of that stuff if I need to, if it's coming up close to an expiration date of when those types of foods need to be used, right? So with this pantry challenge, I'm being flexible because life has its ups and downs. We're on a roller coaster ride around here, and I need to be flexible right now with what I'm doing. So my goal is to save as much money as we can at the grocery store, minimize my time out of the house, my husband's time out of the house. We just want to kind of hunker down this month, take it easy, hibernate, recuperate, get well, get better. We're hunkered down here at the house, so I'm really thankful for this pantry challenge because we need it right now, and we've got to use up all this delicious, nourishing food behind us. We also possibly might be making a big move this year. I don't want to be transporting these or having movers or a moving company transport my canned goods full of food. So if we can save money now and cycle through some of this stuff, that is our goal, and that is what we're going to be doing. This isn't all of my food. I have 2 cabinets right here. Those are pantry storage. I also have kitchen appliances in there, so it's not all full of food. And then I have some other areas around my home. So mainly what I'm sharing with you is the bare minimum, what we're cooking from our pantry right now. The meals that we make, we're just staying home, taking it easy, and enjoying this time. Everything is from scratch, so it does take effort. It is work, or it's not work, it's joyful work, right? Because we're happy to have this nourishing food. We're happy to have the stove to cook it on. What a blessing to have this roof over our head. Oh my goodness, I woke up this morning alive and well. So all of those things that we need to be thankful for. We're gonna simplify, right? We're gonna be using up our pantry foods and trying to cycle through some things and get ready for big life changes. A lot of people like to throw out the crazy prepper label on people like myself, but it's not even about that. It's about taking care of our family no matter what. And maybe I don't want to go to the grocery store for a month. I do have to buy eggs. We don't have chickens right now. We got rid of our flock probably too early. We already gave our flock away to our friends. So we don't have fresh eggs. We're debating, like, are we gonna get 2 pigs? They're gonna be ready in 6 weeks. Our friend has a whole bunch of, she has 3 litters of pigs, so it's quite a bit. It's a lot of pigs. So we're debating whether or not we're gonna get some pigs this year. We don't know how long we're gonna be in this house. So many things are going on. So pantry challenge is much welcome. I hope that you learned something from watching my videos, how I store my food. Over here I have tons of buckets and jars and different things. Hi, sweetie. So we're gonna go over all of that, but let's get into this video right now. I'm gonna start out sharing some food with you all, some breakfast meal prep. Okay, here we have our loaf of bread. Get that out of there and let that cool down. But this is my daily loaf of bread. Sometimes it turns out pretty, sometimes it doesn't. Today it turned out all right. A little wonky, but I didn't mess with it. Usually I scrape down the sides. You can see here I didn't scrape down the sides. So yeah, but it's still edible. It's still delicious, still beautiful, still good, still fresh. First off, I'm going to start with waffles. Waffles are pretty simple. It's basically a pancake recipe with melted fat added to it. So I typically always make our pancakes and waffles from scratch. I like to add in extra protein. Sometimes I add in mashed bananas. Today we're not going to do that. This is just a basic waffle recipe. I've got eggs going in there, some sugar. I'm going to add in some salt. Notice I don't measure any of this. I just kind of go off instincts, listening to my ancestors. We're going to be tossing in some vanilla just to give it a little bit of flavor, and then 2 teaspoons of this Ceylon cinnamon. That is so good. I'm just going to add some milk to give it some hydration. We're going to mix all of our wet ingredients first, and then we're going to add our dry ingredients. This batter is going to be a little bit more on the wet side. I'm going to leave it to sit for a few minutes, and that's going to help all of the fresh ground flour and the additional all-purpose flour I added to absorb some of the moisture in it and to kind of bloom a bit. That's going to thicken up this batter, and now it's all ready to go on the waffle maker. So these are delicious, and if I make enough, we can cool them and throw some in the freezer for another day. You guys will see on my channel that I always double or triple batch my recipes, and I do that so that I can have extra for another day, making it a little bit less work for me on another morning. What a blessing that is, a gift I can give to myself and to my family. Next up, we're making my sourdough English muffins. I will leave this video, or the recipe rather, linked down below in this video's description. I do have that on my channel, so I am happy to share that with you. I'm gonna take you through the method just so you can kind of see what it looks like. It is a very thick dough, so you do have to work it quite a bit to get these ingredients mixed in. I like to use my dough whisk. And if you need a dough whisk to make your baking tasks at home much easier, then I will leave that linked down below in this video's description as well for you to check out. Morning, we are making some sourdough English muffins. Aren't those beautiful? We've got our sourdough right here going. So you make the dough the night before, and then the next day you add your honey, salt, and baking soda. Then they just cook. Usually I do them on like a long griddle, but I just don't feel like getting that out and dusting it off and all that. So we're just using the skillet today, which works just fine. And over the holiday, we also made some of these mincemeat pies. These are a tradition on my side of the family. My mom always made us mincemeat pies. There's the turkey that I cooked, and we had a real simple dinner. I didn't vlog a lot of it, but I thought I would just share these little special treats with you. I got the filling at the store. It was already canned in a jar. I should make it from scratch, and one day we might do that. But I just did that and put some little pie crusts in a muffin dish and made these sweet little treats. They are so good. Have you ever had a mincemeat pie? I think it's like a British or, you know, the UK type thing, but I have heard of a few other people who have had these types of pies before. Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, so I thought I would include this. No, it's not made from scratch, but this was over Christmas break, and Erin brought home a Panettone, I believe, so that I could compare it to my own homemade bread that tastes like Panettone. You can check out that recipe as well on my channel. So we decided we were going to cut this up and make the recipe that was on the box. It's basically a baked French toast recipe made with Panettone. Maybe this will give you an idea of how you can use some sweetbreads in your cooking for breakfast. So this was a quick and easy one of the days surrounding Christmas that I was able to throw this together, and then we ate on it for a few days. The kids found it really filling. I did not eat it because I'm dairy free and I used cow's milk in this, but the kids really enjoyed it. They topped it with syrup and goat's cheese, like a soft goat's cheese.
I was on a plane to California. I had all the time I'd ever need. Did you even know I was looking for you? I think that I was hiding in between. How long did you wait for me? How long did you
Dinner tonight, sourdough bread with turkey gravy, leftover turkey gravy from Christmas. Smells so good. Oh my goodness. Just gonna let this cool right here on the stove, and then we will put it in the jar. So after taking this out of the oven, I just added some raisins to it, and I gave it a good mix on this tray. And now we just let it cool completely. Allowing it to cool completely will get rid of all of the greasiness, because I don't want to put this into my jar just yet. It'll condensate and it'll get mushy. So once it's completely all the way cooled off, we will add it to our jar. So you want to taste it at this point, or before you even put it in the oven. See if you need any more salt, see if you need to add any more brown sugar or anything else. While it is still oily and warm like this, you can add your extra salt or sugar or whatever you want to it. And I don't feel like breaking out the brown sugar, and I thought that this needed a little bit more, so I'm just using organic cane sugar, and I'm just sprinkling some of that on top just to give it a little bit of extra sweetness for the kiddos, and a little bit of extra calories, energy in there. And then we just mix it up again, and voila!
No. Make it here.
That was a fun dragon fruit to peel and share with the family. We actually had 2 of those, so that was our fruit for our meal tonight. And then we're also going to be making some sourdough crepes. So I have been saving my sourdough discard in this little measuring cup. It's a 2-cup measuring cup, and I'm going to add all of my eggs and a little splash of almond milk or regular milk to it to thin it out into a nice thin pancake batter. So anytime you make crepes, I've never ever measured anything for crepes because I learned how to make these from my mom and from watching my granny make them, and they never measured either. So they were just throwing flour and milk and salt, eggs, and making a thin batter. I know one of my brothers throws yogurt into his batter. He kind of does the same thing. He just throws whatever into the batter. So everybody's crepe recipe is different, so I'm sure you will come up with yours. Be brave, give it a try. You just make a very thin pancake batter. You don't use any kind of leavening agent, as far as you're not going to add any baking soda, baking powder, or yeast or anything like that. I'm just using sourdough discard. You can use flour and add the other ingredients and thin it down. You can add some vanilla extract to it. Then you want to add it thinly to a greased pan while you're twisting the pan around. That will help spread it out evenly and make a thin coat on the pan. You're going to cook it for just a minute or so on one side, and then you're going to flip it and coat it on the other side. You can make these sweet or savory when you fill them and roll them up. My family tonight is just going to have them with syrup because that's how my kids prefer it. So it's a nice protein-rich meal that's going to fill them up. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me for this meal prep, weekly meal prep, this pantry challenge, all of the things. I'm going to leave you with this smoothie I made for Aaron. It's got milk, mixed berries, mango, and cherries. Blend it up and enjoy. Thanks for watching.